Hello everyone, this is Shadow Dragon back on the DC Universe Online test server, continuing coverage of Birds of Prey episode 37. So they did a hot fix a couple of days ago. The date of this recording is April 2nd, and they patched it on March 31st. So it's not totally complete yet, like we don't have the full list of feats, but I'm going to read down the list of like the solo changes that have been done, and a lot of them are just based on feedback from the forums, which also overlap everything I went over in the previous videos. And if you want to watch those, you can click in the cards at the top. So starting with open world, they added new spawn locations for poison ivy's encounters, and if you watched my previous videos, you'll notice that was sort of like a little bottleneck in the 3 daily missions. That was always the last one to finish. Hopefully they fix those markers at some point. I don't think those are fixed yet. So they increased the amount of those poison ivy encounters as well that can be spawned at a time, because it seemed like they were limited before, which could be a problem with real population. Okay, put police barricades around the edges of play area to denote the boundaries. I'm not really sure what that one means, because they all seem to overlap. I mean, if they didn't, they should just change, the shape of that red area that gets highlighted. But it seems like they all overlap, or have a large area of overlap. Move the gold collection that was spawning in the ground. I did not come across that. Scoop's summon cooldown has been reduced to 15 seconds. So that does help a little bit. That's the camera pet that you need for that Jimmy Olsen quest. And the issue with that one was you would use it, and then you'd have to wait for the cooldown, like if you didn't get all of them at once, if you get all the targets. And you would just be sitting there waiting for no reason. So you still have to wait, but it's just 15 seconds. It would have been cool if there was just no cooldown. Because, I mean, it doesn't really solve anything. But it's probably a technical thing that they have to have a cooldown. Okay, they added a computer terminal near the escaped experiment, and that's the bounty. So people who haven't completed Lois's investigation mission can still get the mission for him. So that was in response to my comment about having, like a quest above the bounty quest that would kind of slow you down to get to the bounty, and that would just thin the amount of people that would be able to do the bounty whenever people called out. So they solved that by pretty much splitting the quest. Now you could do the quest that used to be before it. You could just skip ahead and do the bounty. You pick up the bounty mission from the terminal near him. And they added loot reward at the end of hero-villain pointer mission. I'm not sure what that means either, because I'm not sure which one was the pointer mission. Okay, so with the on-duty solo, LexCorp Tower, it's now listed as Tier 10. Previously, it was under the Tier 9 list, but it still had the same requirements as the other content at 287. Lobo Space Hog, that is the motorcycle, the space bike, will now appear more often. Lobo should hit harder. Space Hog's afterburner attack is now more lethal. Scoops should calm down a bit when taking pictures. I kind of never noticed him in that one. But, I don't know, I didn't really notice Scoops until we did the open world mission, and we had to use him. Superman will now always leave to go save Lois and Jimmy after defeating Lobo. Didn't notice that one either, but, yeah, that'll be in one of my older videos. HIVE Master and Steve Trevor are no longer too generous with their loot. I'm not quite sure what that referred to, because it seemed like we got normal loot from them. But I don't know, maybe they gave us more choices than they were supposed to. But yeah, I was expecting that solo to get buffed, because it was definitely too easy. So let's take a look at that. I won't play through the whole thing. I'll just cut out like the ad parts, and I'll keep the boss fights in the video. So I will see you at the first boss. Okay, so we're at the first boss. They didn't note that this was buffed, but I kind of feel like it will be.
Fool! You cannot stop me! This will be your end!
Okay, this feels similar to before. As long as you dodge the skulls, he's pretty much okay. So they didn't fill in the solo feats quite yet, but I think I mentioned this in the other one, but the most likely one for this is defeating him without defeating the ads, or it could be a two-parter again, like defeating X number of ads. Okay, we are at Lobo. So this is the one that got buffed, and I'm trying to show the room before we actually walk in. You're gonna notice like two holes in the building to the left and right. That's where the bike is going to attack from, and pretty much all of his attacks are now like one-shots. He has one that's like a strafing attack, so you'll see like the usual arrow markers on the ground, and then the other one is the afterburner. And I'm kind of hoping that it doesn't reach all the way across the room, and it doesn't have like a wide array of angles, because if that's the case, what we could do here is kind of stay at the side of one of the holes and keep Lobo there. So let's try that out.
Oracle's been keeping me in the loop. Hard to believe Luther might be dead.
Which one of you ugly bastages is Lex Luthor?
Not you.
Me. The main man. Lobo. Gundian lingo for one who devours your entrails and thoroughly enjoys it. Some geek in classes sent me a bounty on Lex Luthor.
Too late, Lobo. Luther's dead.
Ah, frag me! Killing the Easter Bunny was easier than this. But this one's pissed off somebody. The bounty on your head will keep my space dolphins fed for months.
I don't think so.
I'm gonna crack it up.
Okay, so we're going to stay on this side here, hoping the bike can't reach from all the way from the other side. Okay, yeah, so it is out of range. Now if we can just get Lobo to come here. And there you see the strafing attack. There we go. A little bit closer. Of course, it does help to be a tank. The difficult part about fighting against the wall, and tanks are used to this, is that camera. So you often have to kind of turn it around and play from Lobo's perspective. We are getting a little bit of lag because you see Lobo like dropping through the ground. Okay, one of his skulls is counterable.
I don't need this crap. Frag, I hate coming to Earth.
A hidden teleporter. Judging by the abundance of mace body spray in the air, Jimmy and Lois already found it. The teleporter's on cooldown. Lois and Jimmy must have... Wait, they're in trouble. Take that teleporter as soon as you can.
Lois and Jimmy in trouble? Must be Tuesday. I'll get the birds of prey to figure out that teleporter and let you know when it's up and running. Word of warning, I'm working with Harley Quinn on a provisional basis. She can be challenging, but she's earned a chance to be a better person.
Alright, so here it is once again. You walk into the room, and there's the holes on either side. I kept them here. This door wasn't open back then. Why is this room even here? See, this looks like an interaction icon, but it doesn't do anything. But, yeah, anyway, I fought him here. The other side should be equivalent if you fight him here. This side might actually be better, because, you know, in case he curves around, you have this little alcove here. But he doesn't seem to aim at that angle. If he did, then this side would actually be slightly safer. And as long as you're not out here, you shouldn't get hit by it. So with that in mind, that is a pretty straightforward solo. Again, the feats aren't here. I would expect this fight to have like the hard knocks feat, no supercharge, no soda, and there's probably one dealing with the bike as well, like maybe avoiding every single of the skull attacks on the bike, or maybe there's a counter where you have to ignore like dodge like a certain number, which I think they should do a certain number, because that way when you get over geared, you can't just like brute force your way through him. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you think of Lobo's voice, because like when I first heard it, you know, when I'm recording I actually don't hear it it doesn't come out that loud until I put it on YouTube. I wasn't expecting him to have that kind of voice. Like I never pictured Lobo with that voice, so I thought I was thrown a little bit off. I kind of think Lobo's voice should be a little bit similar to Harvey Bullock. It should be like a modified version of that guy. But yeah, that just didn't sound like Lobo to me. I'll have to rewatch his animated series appearances to compare that. But okay, that is it from here. I'm sure I'll do this solo again when they add the feats. If they provide some insight to different ways of doing the boss fights. Okay, that's it from here. Stay tuned for more, and thanks for watching.